What's up? So this is for July 16th, 2026. Coming into the morning, I had a really clear bias, and that was that we were going to run sell side. We had engineered relative equal lows at the beginning of the New York session, and we moved higher. We respected the hourly for value gap. We made a dig higher, which was my Judas swing, and then we basically had an inverse for value gap, change in the state. We displaced lower. We were respecting bullish order flow. We had a really clear draw on liquidity, but I didn't take this trade. This one was super, super clear to me, but we never got the close that I really wanted, that was close enough to the change in the state where I would have liked to see my entry occur. Now, there's basically two rules of thought on this. It's you just enter whenever the change in the state is, but oftentimes I don't really want my risk to get skewed. And since we were sort of farther down into sell side, I just didn't want to chase this. Now, I was very, very, very confident in the lows that I was targeting. I didn't end up getting them, but the thing to emphasize on with how I handled today was that I didn't chase price. Um, I missed it, and then I kind of just flushed it, and I was just waiting for more price action to print. I ended up taking two trades today. One was break even, one was a win, and those should be coming up here in a second. We had taken sell side on NQ. We had left it on ES, so there was a bit of an SMT, but the SMT is only really validated when there's a model present to actually reverse. Now, here we see NQ still building more price action, still running to that external low, which there it takes it. So now I basically don't have a draw that is lower. We've taken the nearest sell side level, and now price is it's not displacing through. It's showing signs that, hey, we're slowing down. Now, price can definitely dump here, but there was more price action that I needed to see get printed. Now we're starting to move a little bit lower, but overall, in the morning, that move higher that we see, we engineered resting equal highs, relative equal highs that are marked here on ES. Now, it's not like you just, oh, I see those and now I'm going to take a long. But since we did have the SMT that was at that level, here's my first trade. Now, we had that move lower. We have the inverse. We have the change in the state. We have buy side that we're targeting that is a good draw on liquidity because it's stacked equal highs. It was the high from the morning. So overall, I felt good about this entry. It was my model. I want to take entries that are my model, but I really just protected myself very early on this. We had the 15-minute inverse that, as we see here, sent us lower, and that was just where I decided to move my stop to break even. I knew that there's a chance that price rejects off of this, and I just protected myself. Something happened where we ended up moving lower here. I probably would have got stopped out on my entry, but I protected myself because I knew that that was a spot where we could reverse. Now we've taken out internal sell side. Price is respecting the inverse on on ES. We have the internal SMT. With that series of down close candles, we see it close through the series of down close candles on NQ right there. And then I'm just waiting for the same thing to kind of occur right here. Now we get these two down close candles on ES. That last little retracement, we're still respecting the inverse. And as soon as we get the close up through these two down close series of candles, after we are now holding the inverse, that is when I take my trade. Now, we see right here we get the close above those series of candles. My stop is below this recent low. We've already returned to the inverse, so for me, there's no reason for us to move lower here. I move my stop to break even when we take out this internal high. We're at the 5-minute inverse, or sorry, SIBI on NQ. So I just protected myself very, very early on this. This could have gotten stopped out, but I was protecting myself, and I entered in an area that is my model where it tells me, okay, this is where we're supposed to be moving higher if something like this is showing, because everything was aligned on this. Now, I trimmed 3 out of 5 contracts at the change in the state that was on the 1 minute. It was about a 1.51 to 1.6 R, I think. And then we had this hourly for value gap that we had already tapped into. There was also this BPR that was within the change in the state. Again, all that low resistance liquidity. So then I trim 1 contract at the hourly for value gap because that's an area where we could reject. Again, in all this, I am risk off very quickly. So then I get my second TP, and then my third ends up being at the relative equal highs. This for me was a really good trade. It was a little, I was longing an area where we were short, but there was reason for it, and we showed that price was bullish before we went on this run for delivery. After this, price ended up dumping the rest of the day. We took these equal highs that were generated in the morning, then sold off, but that 10 a.m. reversal was definitely there for me. So I felt good about this trade. The first trade that I took, I felt really good about. It ended up holding. Yeah, that was about all. Shebang.